Previously on our story, what started as an adventure became a nightmare. Ethan is dead, the children are missing, and somewhere in the darkness of the island, something is watching. This is the final part. While the adults searched desperately through the jungle, the children had discovered something terrifying. After finding the small wooden shelter hidden among the trees, they decided to go inside. At first, it seemed empty, quiet, abandoned. But then, they heard something. A strange breathing sound coming from the darkness. Slow, heavy, almost unnatural. One of the children turned toward a dark corner of the shelter, and there, he saw two glowing eyes staring back at them. Something large, something alive, watching, waiting. For a moment, nobody moved. Then one of the children screamed, and they all ran. They didn't know where to go. They only knew they had to get away. As they ran through the forest, one of them remembered something important. Earlier that day, they had managed to send a distress signal using an emergency radio they found among their supplies. They had no idea if anyone had received it, but they hoped someone had. Believing the shoreline would be the safest place to wait for help, they headed toward the coast. Meanwhile, the adults were still searching. As darkness slowly swallowed the island, they divided their search area. One team searched near the shoreline. The other moved deeper into the jungle. During their search, the second team arrived at the abandoned house they had refused to sleep in. The same house. The same strange drawings. The same uneasy feeling. The front door was still open. Slowly, they stepped inside. At first, everything seemed normal. Then they heard something moving above them, a footstep, then another. Scraping sounds echoed through the house. One of them raised his flashlight towards the upper floor, and for a single terrifying second, they saw it. A massive creature standing in the shadows, taller than a man, its eyes reflecting the flashlight's beam, watching them. They didn't wait. They turned and ran. They had to warn the others. Immediately, at the same time, the team searching near the shoreline finally found the children. They were frightened, exhausted, and one of them could barely walk. He had twisted his ankle while running through the forest. But they were alive, and that was all that mattered. A few minutes later, the other team arrived, out of breath. They quickly told everyone what they had seen inside the house. Before they could finish, one of the children interrupted, and quietly said, "We saw it, too." Silence. Nobody doubted it anymore. Whatever had killed Ethan was real. And it was still on the island. They made a decision. They would spend the night near the coast, far away from the jungle, far away from the houses, far away from whatever was hiding in the darkness. They found a small cabin near the shoreline and locked themselves inside. That night, nobody slept. Every sound outside made them jump. Every gust of wind felt like a warning. Every shadow seemed alive. Then, just before sunrise, they heard something different. The sound of an engine. Everyone rushed outside, far across the water. They saw lights. Rescue lights. The distress signal had been received. Help had finally arrived. Fortunately, the group had marked trees and rocks during their travels across the island. The rescue team followed those signs and quickly found them. Not long afterward, they were safely aboard the rescue vessel, watching the island slowly disappear behind them. Later, one of the rescuers mentioned something strange. No reports had ever described sightings of the creature near the shoreline. It seemed to avoid the cold sea winds and the damp coastal air. Instead, it preferred the warm, dense interior of the island, deep within the jungle. As the island faded into the distance, the survivors stood in silence. thinking about Ethan, their friend, the one who never made it home. They had escaped. But one question would stay with them forever. What was the thing that lived on that island? The end.